ma xoolee ba ca biir gis naa jigéen ni réew mi ñi ñoo di jàmbaar ndax ñoo ngi fu nekk jigéen ñi jaaraama bu ñu xoolee ba ca biir ku ne xam nga li nga moom ma ne xoolal ba ca biir di nga gis yow fi nga féete bi ma xoolee
.88 pressure.
Pressure 761.5.
761.5. 558,460.
Do it 19 faster.
Temperature.
24.0.
pH.
7.35.
Salinity.
My name is Maya Tal Hoshemi, and today we're here at the Tambi Wetlands collecting environmental data to see how healthy this ecosystem is. I have my colleague here with me today, and she's using a multi-probe meter to measure different parameters such as temperature, pH, dissolved oxygen, salinity, just to see how healthy the actual aquatic ecosystem here is doing. All right, Umuzo, you ready? Is the probe on the ground, or is it not touching?
Not touching.
All right, time. All right, let's start with temperature.
24.1.
24.1.
7.8.
7.38.
Salinity
39.07.
39.07.
DO 47.0.
Turbidity 6.96.
Turbidity 6.96.
Air pressure 761.5.
76.15. EC
58485.
58485. All right, and the tide is low. All right, let's do some observations. Herons. Mild and windy. Pollution level. Low. What about schools of fish? Okay.
You done with her?
All right, let's do terrestrial. Do you want to do terrestrial with me?
28 fast. 10.
Temperature?
78.5. It's in Fahrenheit. Humidity 61.8.
Sorry, that's in Fahrenheit? Why is it in Fahrenheit?
I think the last time Abdurrahman changed it, I told him to change it back.
Okay. 75,
78.6.
78.6, humidity,
61.7.
61.7, wind speed,
1.3.
1.3, chill,
78.3.
78.3,
Air pressure 14.76.
14.76.
Altitude -36.
That's not correct.
Altitude
Altitude. Dew point,
63.0.
63.0. Heat index. He did measurements of checking the aquatic environment for different parameters. Now we're testing for the environmental parameters for the terrestrial environment. And so in order for species and for fisheries to survive, they need both terrestrial environments and aquatic environments to be healthy. And so that's why we do both. Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. Temperature,
26.1.
humidity,
58.4.
wind speed,
1.5.
wind chill.
25.4.
Okay, that sounds right. Air pressure,
14.76.
dew point,
17.9.
heat index.
26.7.
All right. Time.
31 pass.
All right, let's go. Temperature,
25.7.
25.7. Humidity,
59.2.
speed,
0.6.
wind chill,
26.1.
air pressure,
14.76.
dew point,
17.7.
heat index.
26.2.
All right, let's do another reading because we did the first one in Fahrenheit. It needs to be in Celsius. You ready? Time?
32 pass.
All right, let's go. Temperature,
25.9.
humidity,
60.0.
wind speed,
2.1.
wind chill,
25.7.
air pressure,
14.76.
14.76. Dew point,
17.2.
17.2. Heat index,
26.1.
26.1. Okay, observations.
Sacrificial list. A little bit of plastic pollutants.
Plastic and clothes. Yeah, I said medium pollution. All right. Shells. Oyster women harvesting. And smoking. All right, we're done.
Hello everyone, welcome to the beautiful Tambi wetlands. My name is Maya Tal Hashemi. I'm a marine scientist and a National Geographic explorer. My inspiration was here in the Gambia. As a young child, I was always by the beachside or on the river exploring nature and the environment. One of the major challenges that I faced in my field, especially in the early career of my field, was being obviously a female, a woman, as well as being a black woman. There are not a lot of black people or women in the field, and therefore I faced a lot of challenges. Sometimes my voice was not heard, but through dedication and determination, my work showed for itself, and I eventually gained the respect that I deserve, just like my fellow scientists. Well, my hope is for us to be, or for them to be, better problem solvers and critical thinkers I remember being young and not having an opportunity to even study at UTG because there was no UTG. But now there's a university and it's training the next generation of young people to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. And I hope with their experience through whether it's formal education or non-formal education, that they can help develop this country and so that we will not have to deal with so many disruptiveness in our environment or in the country.
Okay. Do you have some youths that you are training?
Yeah, Great Institute is the organization that I founded in 2017, and all of our employees are either early career young professionals or UTG students, or sometimes we recruit interns from high school. We have this motto that we don't employ 30 and above, and it's not that we're discriminating on people like me in my age group, but I think they need a chance. We've seen the issues with Backway and young people not having employment, so it was my goal to make sure that we support our young people, because in the end they will support our children.
Can you tell us how many girls you have in your?
Wow, how many girls? Well, I can say we have majority of women,
Okay, that's good.
but our team is small. I think it's a compromise of only 11 employees, but we have several volunteers that support us in one of our projects called Gambia Ocean Heroes. We have over 2,000 volunteers that support us in all of our beach cleaning activities, sensitizations in schools. But yeah, we do empower women. I am a woman, and I also want women to feel comfortable in the working environment. One of the pressing issues that are facing our marine ecosystem is climate change. Climate change is the driver of so many other things, such as saltwater intrusion, coastal erosion, drought, deforestation. And just like you saw earlier today, we were measuring the water and we noticed that the salinity was 39 parts per thousand. So what that means is that in the ocean, the average salinity is 35 parts per thousand. So to be here at the Tambi wetlands and the salinity is 39, that's pretty alarming, that's pretty high. So we still have time before the rainy season comes, so we will see those numbers increasing. So what does that mean? That means that a lot of the fish that cannot survive in high levels of salinity will probably migrate somewhere else or die. And so that's why we do the work that we do, so we can study the environment to see how it affects us, not just our livelihoods for food security, but also just for the protection of, for example, mangroves from storms caused by sea level rise.
Can you tell us when do you normally come around to check what is going on here?
Wow. So we are all over the Gambia. We particularly have been checking this site since 2017. So we've been collecting environmental data since 2017, and our team comes here at least once a month. In the beginning, we used to come every 2 weeks, but now that we have enough baseline data, we come once a month. We also visit different parts of the aquatic environments all the way to the end of the river. And before, again, we used to do that very often with young people that would help monitor that system every 2 weeks for us. But now we're in the position where we have enough data where we go once a month. So my team will be leaving actually this Thursday to head up country to collect more aquatic and terrestrial data.
In 2 years' time, where do you expect yourself to be?
In 2 years' time, wow.
Like say in 5 years' time.
Let's say 5, huh?
It's too long to say 5 years, but at least in 2 years' time.
In 2 years' time, I see myself playing more of an advisory role for Great Institute. One of the things that we do is we motivate the same UTG students that we mentor to go off and get into a master's or a PhD program. And so far we've had at least 85% impact of all of our students that pass through our organization to go further their education. And so in 2 years' time, I hope that one of them will come back and take a more leadership role at Great Institute so that I can support in the advisory role. And I would like to continue to support other organizations here in the Gambia as an advisory role, because I feel that a lot of these environmental groups are new and they could use mentorship and support in everything, whether it's scientific, administrative, or even helping generate income and funds.
That's good. What advice do you have for the youth?
Don't stop. You know, don't stop, keep moving, keep thriving. just because one door closes doesn't mean another door won't open. Maintain great relationships. I'm proud to say that the same people that I worked with when I was a young person, I'm still working with today. This industry is very small, so be mindful of the relationship that you do build and how you treat those relationships. And, you know, don't give up. You know, you guys are blessed to have been born with the rights that you have. Some of us were not. Right, so we took aquatic samples and we took terrestrial data, aquatic samples and data and terrestrial data. And some of the parameters that we were measuring was to see how hot or cold the water is. So we measure the temperature. We also measure dissolved oxygen, which sees how much oxygen is in the water. We also measured salinity, and that gives us how much salt is in the water. We measured the pH to see how balanced the water is, whether it's acidic or basic. And all of this, and even on the terrestrial side, we do the same, but just different, similar parameters, temperature, air pressure, wind speed, all of that, just to see how healthy this wetlands are. And we use that data really to help write reports and help students also publish papers in a peer-reviewed article, or to help use it for their studies when they graduate from UTG. We do work with government. We try to support them as technical advisors for anything that they need us. If they have meetings and or workshops or seminars that they need information, we are grateful and gladly to support them on that. My observation for this particular site that we're in, I am quite concerned with the level of salinity. I was just speaking to my team that I'm not happy with seeing the reading of 39. So what we want to do is maybe instead of waiting next month to come out here and measure, we want to measure frequently because as you can see, the water is flowing from the ocean and it's coming this direction. So maybe at this point in time, because it's low tide, maybe that's why there's high salinity. So when we come back, we want to come back when the tide is high. That means the water's coming from another direction, and maybe that would change the number so it won't be so alarming for me. But overall, we do have one of the most healthiest ecosystems in the Gambia. Unfortunately, there have been some challenges recently, but overall, compared to the region, we have one of the best ecosystems. The River Gambia is an estuary and is the largest estuary in West Africa. And what that means is that on one side of the river, it's salt, the other side is fresh, and the other side is brackish. And so there's a lot of nutrients inputs that are going in and out of the river, and where we are located not far off of the Atlantic coastline is considered an upwelling region. So that means there's a lot of nutrients because of the currents that's going in and out. So all these big fish that we see in the Atlantic Ocean, they come into these mangroves to help spawn because there's nutrients here, and then these mangroves provide protection of their babies. So I think this system is showing healthy at the moment, and we hope to keep it. One of the things I'm proud of at Great Institute is that we employ young people and as permanent employees, but also part-time employees. And so we call our part-time employees community science leaders. Now we give that name community science leaders because we want them to go out into the community and work directly in the community. A lot of times these young people are from the villages where they serve, like from Basse, Bansang, Fatoto, you name it. And so they help us with not just collecting data, but they also help us do a lot of our school outreach program. Currently, we have a program where we have 4 community science leaders, and every 2 weeks they're in schools helping the teachers give practical hands-on experience so that the theoretical knowledge that they're gaining can be more enhanced with the practical knowledge. So we provide equipment to the schools, we also create the lesson plans to support whatever they're learning at school. And so we're really proud of our community science leader because what it does, it empowers them to continue to do this work once they're done with us. So I thought that was something that we should shed light on.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, my name is Momoudou Fall. I'm the program officer at Great Institute. So yes, we do have a lot of programs that involve like fieldwork, community outreach, visiting schools, and even some seminars as well, or even workshops as well. We do attend all of that. And I do a little bit of more fieldwork as well. So I'm like a field assistant member, so I do help because I'm not the field and lab technician or the assistant, but I do help a lot because I need to understand like what is going on, so that at least every program that we run, I need to understand like what is happening in the office, because every program has to go through me, and then I have to report to my boss or to other partners. I wouldn't say there are challenges. Okay, for some people they can consider as challenges, but we just embrace the challenges. So we don't consider it as a challenge, we consider it as we still want to do it, we still want to improve, we still want to empower other people. We just want to show people that we can all do it. It's not like that difficult. So I came through Great Institute as an intern. That was back in 2021. Then I started, and I was working on a project. We were assessing the impact the pandemic have on artisanal fisheries. So that's how I got in there. Then after the project, they decided to hire me as a full-time employee. And by then I was a full-time UTG student. So yes, it's funny that like I never see myself as in this position before, because at first I wanted to be an engineer, mostly like architecture or civil engineer. Then as time goes on, after my internship and I got hired and my experience, so my whole career decided to change again. So we all come together, have different ideas, like brainstorm ideas, we all come together, and what we have, we bring it together to the table, then we share. Then we can see how can we do it better. So it's not like we have gender equality or anything, we all come together as a round table and discuss. It's open to all. Yes, like we respect every gender. Waaw, maa ngi nuyu waa ñu nekk di seetaan, man suma tur moo nekk Mamadou Fall, te maa ngi liggéey Great Institute. Man daal suma liggéey moo nekk comme liggéey yu mu di am daal yëpp man sa jëfandikoo daal comme bokk naa si daal. Te lu ndee gën a def moo nekk comme si géej bi leen de gën a nekk ak seet like ndox bi nu mel na rab yu fa nekk na naka la gaa di dundi, waaye because ñu bari tam foofu la ñu dundi, especially ñoo xam ne si jën bi la gaa di dunda si oyster yi. Comme loo xam ne daal ñu ngi ko jëfandikoo si géej bi rek ñun suñu liggéey moo nekk comme ni seet like na ndox bi na loolu yëpp dina fa mën a dunda daal. So dañ dee seet like géej bi from Banjul base yëpp pour ñu seet na ndox bi na baax na mun nañ seet naan na lu fa nekk na mun na seet dunda ba pare na mun nañ fa jëfandikoo tamit. Waaw kontaan nañ daal ñun daal naaj bi su tàngee mu seeda comme liggéey bi daal comme dañ see góorgóorlu daal kon like comme musu ta wax ne naxari na yombut daal wante tamit kon dañ ko xoolee loo xam ne comme mun nañ ko def dañ ko bëgg a def so loolu moo tax comme suñ ko def daf di gën a yomba. So xam nga dañ dee ñëw rek ku nekk la bëgg a def rek te gannaaw ëllëg ñu ngi war a dem fii ba Basse kon dañ dee over yàkkamti sax kontaan ak Basse nu mu tàngee yëpp dañ dee yàkkamti sax ak kontaan pour dem Basse sax pour xam nga seet foofu noonu nu mel ak ñit yi ba pare xam nga génn si place bu nekk di seet like ñeneen itam lan la gaa nekk di jëfandikoo tamit. So dañ dee seet so suñ collecté lu mu war a seet si ndox bi yëpp so ni dem si office bi ni seet like la moo nekk di so la moo jot ndox bi na ni seet ba pare su nekkee dafa am lu ko jot su ñoo xam ne dañ so jëfandikoo ni wax gaay ni étali gaay dañ ñu xam ne comme lii ak lii moo nekk di daal su nekkee tam mun ngeen a def lii ak lii tamit comme seen liggéey bi tam mu gën a yokku daal su nekkee mais bi am na ñoo xam ne ñu ngi diggee si ndox bi wante xamul la moo tax comme par exemple ñoo xam ne ñu ngi nappa jën wala ñoo xam ne dañ dee def fii yoxos so mais yenn saa yi gars dañ dee dem nappa ñu ne tey moom yoxos amut wala ñu ne tey jën amut wante duñ xam la moo tax loolu noonu wala ñu ne tey daal ndox bi xorom bi dafa bari wala te ndox bi daal am na lu ko jot wante loolu yëpp xamuñ ko wante ñun bu ko soof ñun gars dañoo wax loolu noonu so ñun tam dañoo ñëw ni def suñu liggéey ni mun a xam si scientifique wall bi like la moo nekk di jot ndox bi daal. So suñu nekk di liggéey daal foog naa gars ñun mun nañoo gën a jëfandikoo lu gars nekk di def wante tamit gars ut beneen yoon boo xam ne tamit su dara doxute gars yi mun naa gën a jëfandikoo si leneen loo xam ne kon du des si ndox bi kese mais bi am na yoo xam ne comme su nekkee ñoo xam ne si yoxos bi la yoxos bi gars du ko mun a am si at bi yëpp. So yenn saa yoo xam ne gaa amun ko mais bi gaa mën nañoo jëfandikoo si leneen wala ñu dee def yoxos tamit gaa dañ mën a dog mangrove yoo xam ne guy yi daal yoo xam ne ndox bi baax na si ndox bi gaa dañ ko dee dog wante soo bàyyi xel am na sel belineel am na ñoo xam ne dañ dee jël banta di ko def si ndox bi boobu tam moo gën a baax so at least boobu noonu su gaa amee lekka ba pare gaa jël loolu noonu moo gën at least gaa duñu yaaxa tamit lu nekk si boori ndox bi ak loo xam ne lu nekk si biir ndox bi tam foofu la gaa di jëfandikoo. Dafa dépend tam si façon nga liggéey bu gaa bëgg su nekkee gaa ñu si université bi te gaa xam ne lu gaa bëgg a def te loo xam ne tamit lu gaa bëgg a def tam loo xam ne tam ñun loolu leen di def si suñu liggéey bi we have programmes yoo xam ne tam gaa mën nañ soo jëfandikoo da mën a am every year internship yoo xam ne si high school bi la wala si université bi wala yenn saa ñoo xam ne ñu si université bi ba pare da leen de mën a hire as part time because gaa ñu si université gaa ñu ngi jàng ba pare so si jàng bi gaa ñu ngi jëfandikoo si jàng bi ba pare ñu ngi jëfandikoo si liggéey bi nga xam ne dafa gën a góor loolu gaa di def lu gaa bëgg a def at least gaa mën a xam.
Assalamualaikum. Man Amazon laa tudd Amazon Kamnebe maa ngi liggéey ak Great Institute maanaam Great Institute organisation boo xam ne dañ leen liggéey si marine environment bi su ma waxee marine environment bi lu ma miin maanaam si yi fi géej gi ak yi fi dund yu fa nekk. Great Institute man field and lab technician la foofu noonu maanaam lu ma leen liggéey mooy dama lay collect ay water sample ay suuf ak yeneen sample si pour ma yóbbu ko si lab bi ma mun koo ron su ma ko ronee dama collect ay data pour ma mun a support stakeholders yi maanaam waa government yi ak ñeneen yi pour jàppale leen si dundu yi fi marine ecosystem. So samples yooyu noonu am na facteurs yu bëri yuñ fa lay check ak parameters maanaam temperature comme ñeneen yi nuñ ko ooyee tàngaay bi ak seddaay yi dara daal so dañuy seet temperature bi seet xorom bu nekk si ndox bi ñu seet maanaam oxygène bi bu nekk tam si ndox bi lii yëpp facteurs la pour mu jàppale ñu mun a understand lu ndox bi nekk di face ak ndox bi lu si nekk daal léegi suñu yóbbee façon yi si lab bi ak tamit yeneen nutrients yi lii yëpp daf ñu lay jàppale ñu mun a xam naka la ndox bi tilimee in scientific terms pollution bu fa nekk ñu mun a seet naka leen si mun a jàppale nguur gi ak tamit ñu si nekk di dund. suñ ndox bi dafa dépend tam si foo nekk di laaj am na yenn place yi ndox bi tilim na waaye am na yenn place yi tamit tilimut fuñ nekk nii visibility wise tilimut waaye xam nga am na yenn facteurs yoo xam ne doo ko seet rek si bët bi da nga ko yóbbu si lab bi nga test ko nga mun a xam maanaam ba baax na te tamit nekkul just pollution moo nekk problème bi fii xorom tam problème la parce que understand ne xorom baa ngi rey suñ mangrove si moo nekk guy yu nekk di gis yu very precious si suñ écosystème bi fii te mu ñoo jàppale te xamuñ parce que massive flooding ak ñaaka ndox flooding mooy ndox bi su demee bu bëri nu mu warut a bëri te muy rey ay jën wara di rey ay guy mangrove si ñoo ñu si lay jàppale moo tax den war a take care of this mangroves mooy guy yi ñu jàppale ñoom tamit pour ñu jàppale ñu in return waaw su nekkee ne data bi dafa comme soxla ne pour gaa ñu enforce yenn police yi wara gaa ñu enforce yenn rule pour mu mun a jàppale ndox bi dinañ leen mun a advice moo tax dañ leen provide some technical advice yoo xam ne gaa yi xamuñ ko into this field so su nekkee ne for instance gaa ñu ngi overfish ñu ngi jël jën yu bëri si géej bi te waruñ koo jël parce que dañ war a understand tamit lekka yuñ si nekk dund yuñ si am fii comme dafa am time yoo war a jël ak time yoo warut a jël soo nekkee di jël constantly after da ngaa gis ñu ñëpp moo tax léegi jën mënuñ ta am jën because ñu ngi nekk di jël moo tax lu mu nekk di jur so façon yooyu noonu suñ ko noticé mun nañ ko wax waa nguur bi suñ noticé ne géej baa ngi am ndox bu bëri ñu waxaagaay jox leen technical advice pour ñu mun a jàppale réew mi ak nit yu si dund maa ngi gis suma bopp si liggéey te sant naa yàlla maa yaay monsieur mi taal moo ma jël si liggéey bi gis ma bugal ma boppam mu nangu ma si liggéey bi parce que xam naa ne am na ñeneen yu bëri duñ jël university student noo ko xam ne amut experience waaye gis na ne ñun youth yi ñoo nekk next generation bi mu jox ñu opportunity bi pour ñu mun a nekk si fiili marine science ñu mun a jàppale réew mi te dëgga yàlla rek a ko mun a fay.
What do I love? Not like. What do I love most about the Gambia? I think it's our heartbeat, you know, who we are as people. When you go and visit other countries in Africa, you know, you feel so grateful to come back home and just see how our hearts are. We're very kind, loving people. We're very peaceful. I love our culture. I love our environment. I love our food. I just love everything about Gambia. And I think when we appreciate who we are as a nation, we won't allow others to come in and take advantage of us. Danka danka. Man, danka danka. Hey. Pour Gambians see. Just do try liggéey jigéen ak góor parce que fii Gambia jigéen mu ngi toog mu ngi amut confidence ñu ngi you know, instruct or mu ngi say I'm powerful, I am woman, you know, maa ngi jigéen. So that will be my advice.
Dinga gis yow fi nga féete bi ma xoolee